Hi everyone and welcome to the Bream Fishing Project. This is the monthly report for July, and with me on the line I have the one and only Brett Geddes. Welcome back to the show, mate.
It's a privilege, is all I can say. I have fun. I look forward to it. Let's get rocking.
Let's get rocking, mate. We've got a lot to get through. All right, I'm gonna run through all the upcoming comps for July. I'm gonna do a little bit of a recap of the Swains Reef trip. Georges River Hobie had a little mishap on the water, which hasn't happened before. I haven't told you about, I don't think.
You haven't? No.
And, a bit more on the baby vibe, which has been going really well. And also the Force Lures giveaway for the guys that joined the collective in the last little while.
Oh, this will be good.
Mate, what about yourself? What have you got for us?
Oh, okay. Let me plant a few seeds. I've got a lot of fisheries talk. I've been locking horns with on a Zoom meeting with fisheries about stocking. I bumped into the guys that were doing the net survey trawling jobbies they do every year in the Gippy Lakes. Third time I've bumped into them now, and I watched them pull up a net. Lots to talk about that. And a good mate of mine is an eel netter in this area, and he pulls up stuff in his fyke nets that not many people would see. And so a bit to talk about there. Deethy, I've got to talk about numbers. I've been catching fish. Today I sent you a little video as a teaser. It's not just me. It's myself and my good buddy Rick. We've had 4 incredible sessions. Anyway, there's other mates that have been fishing local. And I'm talking Holland's Landing and Lake Wellington and Latrobe and a few other areas. There's that. Going to talk about the collective again because we had a great session last week. Fantastic. I just sit back and I don't have to talk. Pretty hard for me. Just absorb being a sponge. That's been fantastic. And other stuff. Look, Georges River, I was quite impressed with the results there. And whatever else pops up. What about you? Got more, or what? Have you got more to add to your repertoire? What's your go,
mate? I think that'll probably wrap us up. But there's a fair bit there, a lot to go through, and I think maybe a little bit of crossover on the two sets of topics. So, mate, let's roll the intros, and then we can get straight into what's coming up in July.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to the Bream Fishing Project. This is where you need to be every Tuesday to find out all the latest tips and tricks to help you target bream on lures. You'll get to hear from some of Australia's elite bream competition anglers and see how they were able to achieve their results in competitions around the country. Now, here's your host, the 2019 Hobie Kayak Fishing World Champion, Andrew Deeth.
All right, Brett. So we've had a crazy time in comps. Like, I'm actually quite a bit behind in my recordings and in releasing shows. But for July, a little bit quieter, so which is kind of good in some respects.
Breather.
Yeah, a bit of a breather for everybody. I think a bit of a break in the year sometimes good. On the Hobie schedule, we don't have anything scheduled for July. Same with Vic Brim. They're having July off. The New South Wales Tournament Series, now they are going to Foster. So for the guys that are up there fishing that, we will have 2 recent Foster rounds, so 2 ABT Foster rounds just being released out in the Bream Fishing Project. So a little bit of information in there, as well as the last year's Hobie round is really good. And by the time you get there, we might even have this year's Hobie round out. So a bit there for the Foster guys from the New South Wales Tournament Series. The Queensland Team Series, they have got a round 4 on Saturday the 19th of July at Paradise Point, and this one is the John Wright Memorial. And then across to Western Australia, they've got a kayak round, and this one's a Hobie qualifier. So it is Swan River, July 26 and 27.
Do we expect Joey to perform there, or do you reckon?
I expect to be talking to Joey.
Yeah, I reckon you'll be talking to Joey.
I think
Joseph Gardner.
I think he'll qualify for the grand final again. So usually with those, it's often I'm either talking to Joseph Or I'm talking to his mate Alex Griesdorf and or Ben Oakes, depending on whether it's a teams event or not.
Grouse.
So yeah, usually those guys are on the list. Now ABT, so they've got nothing in for July, but what they did announce in the last week was the Tasmanian tour. So I'm going to run through the dates because people have got to get planned for that. They've got to get their ferry passes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So for next year, they're in the Huon River on the 15th and 16th of April, the Derwent River on the 18th and 19th of April, and then they've got a teams event at St Helens on the 22nd of April. And for all your details, you can jump across to abt.org.au. East Coast Brim Series, they're having a quiet month. One thing I remembered, I don't know whether you got to listen to the show the other day, but I spoke to Stephen Pryke. He had a bit of a moment.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. I heard a little bit today. Go Prikey.
Yeah, go Prikey. So Prikey, how do I put it? He basically stepped off his boat.
He's had an old man moment, and he's only a young fella.
He did. I mean, I'll let people listen to the story. I think he landed the fish and then went up to the thingo and stepped straight off the boat in over his head.
I think at least it was towards the end of the comp hours or half hour to go, and I think he suffered a bit of chill because it wasn't a really nice weather day either, was it? Apparently,
no, it was horrible. I think in the interview he might have said it was the last sort of 15 minutes, and they just fished it out. And
okay,
so
well done, Prikey. Yep, you made the monthly report.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Cool story.
Legend.
All right, mate. Let's move on to Swains Reef. So I went up there.
Yeah, had to go
right in the start of June. Yeah, so basically we went up to Swains Reef with a bunch of ET's mates and a few people that just applied to be on the charter randomly, which included, I think there was maybe 5 women, a couple of guys' wives that were on the boat, as well as a couple of girls that had come along on their own and left their partners behind. So that was an interesting mix.
That's cool.
And seeing some women that could really fish was very cool. Like they really got into it and they really loved it, which was nice to see. See them get in amongst some coral trout, and a couple of them got wahoo, and yeah, it was very cool.
Okay.
Now, this trip was 7 days out at sea on the Big Cat Reality, and in that you basically sleep in bunks on either side of the hull. Little bunks, so not big, not a lot of turning room there. And that was pretty good. I mean, as you know, I was a bit sick on that trip, a bit seasick in the beginning, but that wasn't the thing. I was actually sick. And the first 3 or 3.5, 4 days were a bit rough.
Okay.
But we kind of got through. There was some fun stuff. I did see some, and I might be able to even show you this. One of the things that surprised me was the abundance of sharks.
Oh, mate. Disappointed or surprised?
Oh, well.
Did they get your fish? Like, were they?
They ate my fish. They really ate my fish. So yeah, let me just share screen.
I wonder if they tune in to motors and boats, and you think at some point they would register that being. It's a bit like the seals down here in Welshpool. As soon as you turn up, when you shut your boat down and start casting, they just come barreling in. And it's got to it's got to a point where catching a snapper and trying to get him in, and even kingies. It's certain times of year, more in the warmer months. But I wonder if those sharks up there, Deethy, the same thing. Learned behaviour.
Yeah, I think so, mate. They are tuned in. I'm gonna share screen with you now. It's a little video that I took with my drone of the back of the Big Cat. Now, before I hit play, this was one of the days we were moving, I think. So they were loading in this video. You can see them loading the boats up onto Big Cat.
Yeah.
But the sharks, mate, you can see down the bottom there. So can you see that?
Can see it. Yep.
Big sharks everywhere.
Oh, that's sad. That looks ominous. Oh.
Yeah, and you can imagine you go out onto the reef, and And these big sharks, they're just eating your fish, so it was disappointing.
And
What I
big and
did-
little fish, like they'd be honing in on everything.
That's right. I think they were honing in on everything, whether it was coming up or going down.
Wow.
They were definitely into it. Okay, look, there was a couple of really good things there. They Big Cat, you come in every day and all your meals are all done.
Mm.
There's food there for the guys who you have to pay for your drinks and stuff,
Yep.
which is fine. Like you have to pay for drinks no matter where you go, but they're all ice cold in the fridge, all looked after.
Mm.
You come in, the dinner's sort of set for the same time every day, whether it's lunch or dinner. That sort of stuff was really cool.
Mm.
In terms of the fishing, I caught a couple of new species. I got my first coral trout, which happened to be a real little one.
Okay. Yep.
Which I might put a photo up there later. I was pretty happy with it because it was the first time, but it's a very small fish. And then got a good one.
Were they kind to you?
No, yes and no. It was just windy. We had one day where it rained a lot, got really wet, and I was sick, and that wasn't a great experience. But it was windy, and the water was choppy. So, yeah, it would have been better. Just a little bit less wind would have been good. But there were some interesting fish hit the deck. I mean, a couple of GT were caught.
Yep.
And same couple of Spaniards, couple of wahoo, bunch of coral trout, some red-throat emperor. We actually got squid one day. We were up on the reef. Yeah, we got squid, and I was throwing the Pro Lure garfish. I can't remember what the name of it is, but the Pro Lure floating garfish.
Oh.
And I got a common trout,
Yep.
which once again I was pretty happy about on surface. So that was pretty good.
Cool.
And then I could see these three red, I thought they were coral trout, chasing the lure. And the way they came up, I was like, I reckon they might be squid.
Tiger squid?
Anyway,
Were they tiger squid? Do you know?
I don't know what sort of squid they were.
Yeah.
I could send you a photo.
Okay. Look at
And
that.
we ended up with 6 of these. And that was one of the smaller ones.
Oh. Did they go into the dining banquet, or did they go as bait, or both?
They became dinner.
Good.
Our chef Kenny was very happy to see them.
He would be.
And mate, the mess that we made with these squid was unbelievable.
Black ink.
I had the job of dispatching this one and another one, and I had it on the side of the boat and gave it the karate chop.
Yeah.
And it released a load of squid ink. Now, I don't know how, but it was pointed out, but I'm telling you, it came backwards. Mate, it was
reverse squirt.
Oh, mate. I don't know which end it came out of, but it wasn't great.
Oh, that sounds ugly.
So, I mean, it wasn't what we went up there for, but I'll tell you what, that was a bit of a highlight. We got 6 of them. We had Jackie with us, one of the ladies, and she got 1. She might have got 2. I think Mick got 3. Mick Eddinghausen.
So good on the fang. I reckon that. Did he do them deep fried or breadcrumbs or?
Yeah, they were. I don't know whether they were deep fried or not. They probably were.
Okay.
With a little bit of light breadcrumbs. Mate, it was pretty good.
So good on the fang. Oh.
Mate, 6 of those. That's a lot.
Yeah.
There was heaps.
Grouse.
One of the interesting things on that trip is we had, as I said, we had ET there, and he did a talk night. He did an origin night.
Oh.
And he just told some stories about being on the New South Wales Blues and what it meant to him. And it was one of those moments where it's unexpected, but it was a very cool night. It was very cool to listen to him speak in that way. I've known him for a few years now and talked to him about all things fishing, but not very much football. So that was definitely a surprising highlight, which even if you had told me we're going to do that, I wasn't prepared for it. So, yeah, that was very cool.
And nice for him to give up of himself, to make the effort to do that, because he probably didn't have to.
No.
I'm sure he maybe wants to, but the guys I've known that have mixed or have locked horns with him, I've heard that he is a really affable bloke. He's really personable, and he gets, he's a down to earth, nice bloke. So it's good to hear.
Yeah, he really is, and he got Yeah, you could see how much the blues meant to him. 20 years on or 25 years on, whatever it
Yeah.
is, still close to his heart.
Oh, that's good to see. Yeah.
So that's
Great trip, all in all.
that was pretty much the Swains. Yeah, it was really interesting. Being sick wasn't great.
No,
Um,
bit unlucky.
but I kind of pushed through as best I could. Couple of red throat emperor. I'll show you to wrap out. I'll find a photo of the red throat emperor and show you that,
Okay.
because that was pretty cool too.
And that'd be good on the fang.
Yeah, we bought some fish home, so they cryovac them all there on the boat. They cut them all up, filleted them, cryovac them, pack them in foam boxes for you, and you get to bring it home. How good's that?
How good's that?
All right, so there you go, Brett. There's my red throat emperor, and I was making the same mouth as him.
How big's that fish? Is that like a 2 kg fish, or is it bigger? Or
Yeah, he'd be. Oh, yeah, he was like 62, 63 centimeters. So.
Probably 3 kg, every bit of that.
Yeah, so good fish.
Yeah, okay, and good on the fang.
Yeah, and he was going, oh, that's what he was saying.
You're doing the same.
So the people who want to see that, you'll have to have a look on YouTube.
Love it. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, so there you go. So that was Swains, mate. How good's that?
Oh, blessed to, like, once in a lifetime, really, to get away for a week like that. And yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. No internet, no phones, nothing.
Win-win.
Win-win.
Yeah.
It was very that's a kind of good side to a holiday, because you get to be there and be in the holiday rather than worrying about whether you've got to, catch up with people or check in on people.
And stuff was recorded for you, wasn't it? Like, you didn't have to, let me get my phone out, we'll get this and take a photo. I think a lot of it was done for you, wasn't it? So that was good as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it should be said, I went away and shared a lot of time with Mick Eddinghausen, which was also good. We're on the tender together. Great guy, good fisho. So yeah, that was definitely a highlight. And I haven't got it with me. I got an ET hat.
ET hat. There you go.
How good's that?
Not as good as the Bream Fishing Project shirt, but I had to dump mine tonight because it got very dirty today.
Did it? Fair enough.
That's a good problem to have.
That is a good problem. I tell you what, mine got dirty on the chart. Every time I picked up a fish, there was fish all over me. So lovely. All right, let's swap over to you, mate. Do you want to share something that's been going on for you in the last month or so?
Look, I'm going to bring up the Vic Fisheries thing. I'm really passionate about this at present because I think, as you know, and most people who have been talking to me and looking at, I've put a few little posts up on Sookbook. I've been catching a mountain of fish, lots of perch and brim, mainly perch, and the Gippy Lakes is on fire. So the reason that is because the stocking of the estuary perch some 3, 4, probably up to 5 years ago is now coming to full fruition. I've talked a little bit about this last monthly report, but we're having sessions, just not me. It's not only me. I mean, I document this and talk about it, but I've had guys that haven't fished for a couple of weeks that go out and are getting 30, 40, 50, even up to 60 fish by themselves.
Wow.
It's incredible. It's absolutely out of control. Here's the reason why. That stocking program of the estuary perch is now starting to challenge, if not surpass, the bass stocking program right across Gippsland. East Gippsland, if you like. Oh, there's Blue Rock and it goes right through to Bem. And I don't know about Bem if it gets stocked with bass, but the Genoa I don't think is stocked up, but I'm sure it goes as far as the Snowy. So maybe pull it up. So what I'm saying is you can catch a stocked bass that are now into their 40s and 50s in nearly every stream from pretty much, call it Warrigal, which includes the Blue Rock system and the creeks and rivers right through Gippsland, like the McAllister and the Avon and all these other streams, Latrobe particularly, and the Mitchell. And it's amazing, but here's what I'm getting at. I think the perch thing is going a next level. And
Right.
so back to the fishery side of it, I got involved recently with a little round the table talk. That's on a Zoom meeting with Taylor Hunt, and it was all about, and Mark Adams too, by the way. He chaired the meeting, and it was all about where do we go with stocking right across Victoria, not just the estuary side, but trout and natives, and a lot of cod talk, and a lot of trout talk too, which is good. We need to. They get a little bit sort of. Do we need to stock them? Do we not? They're not native, but I think they've got a place in the stocking program. So,
Yeah.
there were people like Robbie Alexander that were included in this, and Caitlin Barracree and others. And so I was asked to be a representative from Gippsland with me, mate. He joined as well, and so I just thought, well, privileged in the sense that we get included on this chat, but how good is it that fisheries in Victoria? I don't know if you're aware of this, but they've had to put up with some cuts. Like they've lost quite a few staff, and it's been talked and bandied around a lot. That how can we lose people out in the field? And we're talking about fisheries officers that are checking a lot whether people are doing the right thing. So their numbers have dropped. I don't know the exact numbers, but so I thought that maybe the stocking program might suffer as well, but it hasn't. So that was really important. So we got to talk about why, where, and how could we go about things into the future in the next 12 months and further down the track. So great to have a voice there. I can say it's in very good hands, and I think Victoria is just going ahead leaps and bounds. So, Deethy, so privileged to be living in this day and age where I can go out and catch so many fish, like estuary perch in a place called Devil Bend. It's a freshwater lake. They're 5 and 6 year old, and Deethy, they're getting up to 50 centimetres.
Wow.
And they're a estuarine saltwater species per se, but someone said, "Oh, how about we put them here?" And it's just turned into a mega fishery. So I had to bring that up. It's a wonderful thing, and it's only getting better.
Yeah, and look, I think we've spoken about this before, that when, like with the whole slot limits and stuff like that, where if you don't take the big fish out of the system, eventually all those fish that have the potential to grow to a larger size through their genetics stay in the system. So I'm wondering what these guys are using as their breeding stock, how they go about curating that.
So they source, as far as the estuary perch, what they do is they source the fish stocks from, if you drew a line that went vertically down through Melbourne and Port Phillip, there would be the east stocking, or there'd be the east of that delineation, that divide towards Mallacoota, and there'd be the west. So they source perch from the Glenelg to stock over that area, but they don't cross over the genes from east to west. So what they're trying to do is keep that genetic stock and that strain pure. So they do that. So so they source them mainly, I think, the Snowy and also Anderson's Inlet. I know they get a lot of perch from that area, and so that when they go back to Narooma, where they on-breed these fish and induce them to breed and shed eggs and whatnot, then they go and stock them into that eastern zone and the western zone. So that's how they do that. Flathead, the dusky flathead are really only East Gippsland, so that's one thing. But the bass, I know, are fairly much East Gippsland source too. So if that answers your question, it's sort of trying to keep the gene pool as pure as possible. So, but all I know is it's really working. And to back up all the data, here's the really important thing. 2-3 days ago, I bumped into the guys that do the trawling surveys, and And I reckon this is probably the third time I've bumped into these guys. It's there's Brent and Dave and another fella too. I just escaped me his name, but what they do is they go and trawl the mouths of, say, the Latrobe River, the Mitchell, and the Tambo, and they do it every year in the same spots, and they will do a 50, maybe 100-metre section, and so they drag trawl nets through, and they pull them up, and they count the fish, they document the lengths and the numbers and all that. So they do that year on year on year, so you get a readout as to how the fishery's going. And so when I bumped into them the other day, I think they weren't long after doing the Latrobe, and they took time to talk to me about what they were getting and how, and how things have changed over the years a little bit. But they're under the pump because they've had to process these fish, and here I am wanting to yap to them, and they're, well, Brett, we've got to count these fish and get them back. But this backs up the stocking. Like,
Yes.
See where I'm going? It's not just throw the fish in and then forget about it. They got angler diaries as well, where wreck anglers like myself, I've done it before. You've got the angler diaries where you document and post forward to fisheries what you've been catching. And so I haven't done the angler diaries, but I've been getting in touch with people like Taylor Hunt and fisheries in particular, all of them. I've tried to, send the message right across the board there and say, this is what's going on. We've got the dusky flathead that are 92, 94s. We've got a mountain of brim that have come on since the netting has stopped.
Yeah.
And I know I keep talking here on what's going on in the Gippy Lake, but give me another couple of minutes. I'll get through it. I've got a good buddy, Mickey D, who's an eel netter. He uses fight nets in Lake Wellington. So he gets back to me on what he gets in the nets as well. So I'm getting all the rec feedback, all these perch and brim getting caught. Like, you've done the interviews, Deethy. Holland's Landing, on fire, big brim and great catches and the Tambo and all that, Mickey D comes back with me and says, Brett, you won't believe, not only am I struggling to get eels, my fight nets are just full of little brim, palm size.
Yeah.
Bass to 50 centimetres. Yellow belly that's another whole different story, that one. That's not a stocking thing. That's an escapee from years gone by, but they keep on growing in numbers. Lake Wellington is a freshwater system, and there's heaps of little flathead turning up, he says. Deethy, it's so much to tell in one breath. It's like, it's just a joy. I'm rejoicing in the fact that my waters they're really on fire.
Yeah. I mean, how good is it when you step into the water and you look down and there's half a dozen little flathead, like tiny little flathead. And then you look a bit further and there's a few school of brim just swimming past, seeing what you're doing. And you go, this is the future right at your feet.
Oh, and there's there's no netting, but there's also, we've got these environmental flows. Like, we've got flows into the water catchments. Look, they're compromised and they're somewhat affected, but the Gippy Lakes is lucky in the sense that the Mitchell is not affected one bit. Now, we do get irrigation, they pump out of it, so there's that compromise, but it's not dammed in any way, shape and form. And there's the Latrobe that, essentially a lot of people say it is a muddy river, and there is a lot of carp. But I think the balance of the predator versus carp, I think they're getting preyed upon. The amount of bass in that in the Latrobe, like again, another thing I wanted to bring up. I bump into the carp zappers. I've talked about this before, and 2 days ago I says, guys, it's great to catch up before you launch. Tell me what's going on. What are you zapping and where? And we're having to go way up in the system, and look how many carp we caught. And they took some footage on their phone, and they hold the phone up. Look at this, Brett. Oh, yeah. Have a look at these big bass that we're seeing and yellow belly. And I'm going, it's a great time to be alive. And as much as the carp are a scourge, Yeah, I just wonder if they're going to release that disease. I don't know where that's all at the minute, but I'm going to talk further on that down the track. I want to do homework on that. So, Deethy, you know what I mean? It's just I've had to take notes. It's been incredible, mate.
You will tell us now. I know you've had some amazing sessions, particularly in the last couple of weeks. So what's going on there?
Rightio. So I've teamed up with a good buddy, Rick Formica, and he's semi-retired. I'm retired, but he gets out when he can, whenever he wants, pretty much. So we pick the right days and we go in the right weather. Me good buddy Anthony Havers, he's still working, so he's picking his days. Otherwise, I'd probably be out more with him. But Rick has said, Brett, I'm free. When are we going? What are we doing? So I want to document 4 trips in particular over the last nearly 2 weeks, not quite. The 4 trips included, and we document this, and Rick's like me. He's a counter, and we say it out aloud. So we know these facts. I can't make this stuff up.
You're right.
So 4 trips, here it goes. First trip, we got exactly 100 brim. 100 fish. I got 60 EP and 5 brim. Rick got 29 EP and 6 brim. So there's exactly 100.
Wow.
So it ends up being 100 because we don't stop until we get the 100. It's not like,
okay.
Oh, so how much do we get? No, we're counting. 97, 98. Rick, we can't go yet. Let's get the 100. Yes, Brett. So there's the first trip, 100. The second trip,
wow,
we got 115 fish. Only
a
couple of weeks back, week and a half. The third trip, which was last Monday, 119 fish.
Mm-hmm.
So we broke our record, 115. Today, we thought it can't happen again. We can't get 100. Surely we can. Bitterly cold and a bit windy, not a good day. But no, we dropped the ball a little bit today, Deethy. We end up with only 93. So,
oh my goodness, you must have been so devastated.
that's what Rick was saying. He was talking about an almanac. He's really big on bite windows, and like yourself, you bring this up a lot. And it's a little bit of argy-bargy between me and Rick because I don't give it much credence. So I want it to work, the almanac and the bite times and all that, because that would be a good thing. But in my experience, I probably haven't done enough homework on it, which is one thing.
Yeah.
But Rick's always saying, oh, no, we won't do too good today, but it's only a 4-fish day. And I says, Rick, if today's a 4-fish day, God forbid if it's a 50-fish day, because So Rick got 44 and I got 49. So it's a really good thing, Deethy. We're going like fish for fish, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not like he got heaps and I didn't. But this is the nature of what's going on with the Gippy Lakes at the moment. There's just mountains of fish around. So let me go slow on that 4 trips. I reckon there's close to not 500, but there's 450 odd fish there. 4 trips.
Wow.
Are you kidding? And today I got a brim 44.
Wow. I want that brim.
I want that, and that was late in the piece.
So Brett, if someone's new to fishing or, you know, wants to go and catch a fish, have you got any basic advice for someone to head down there and catch a couple? If you can catch 100 between 2 of you, somebody else that is not that is new to fishing should be able to go down there and catch a couple. So,
yeah, I can expand on this really easy. So let's pick a spot. Now, it's called Eagle Point. It's where they launched the Hobie event some months back, last year, I think. Now, there are people there that are turning up that are very new to fishing and thinking, well, I've heard the fishing's been fantastic. What do we do? Throw a soft plastic? Will we throw blades off the bank? So they turn up, and where you launch, there's a platform you can stand on, you can cast out. It's the very top end of the silt jetties. This is a perfect example of how easy this is to do. So people are rocking up there, and they're not at all switched-on anglers. And I've got first-hand accounts on this, not myself being there, but a couple of friends. Anyway, so there's people casting plastics. What sort of soft plastic will we put on? It doesn't matter. So they're getting flathead and brim and the odd perch, just casting off the bank. And kids, you've got a knot there, and the lure falls down. We got a fish already. We got one.
Yeah.
Now, this is happening pretty regular. And
Yeah. Wow.
and further to that, there's a lot of bait angling going on too in the area because everyone's hearing this. And every so often someone says, "Oh, let's try a lure." And they're working. And, for newbies to turn up and get 6 or 7 fish, which I think is quite within the realms, you start now getting hooked for life. And kids, and it's not always that easy. And there's snags, and there's failure, and there's all the rest, and crappy weather, and all. Like, it is winter.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, does that go some part into it? Like, even at Holland's Landing, off the wharf there, it's a big platform, fast water, and some days are good, some days are bad. But people are picking up fish there on lures, but particularly on bait too. Just old point.
Yeah. So it sounds like, if people go down there and go to your local tackle shop and grab a few soft plastics, could be a squidgy wriggler, a hurricane sprat, or whatever, and go down there and have a go. You'll be a real chance.
And there's me tongue off the jetties there. Leon's talked about that, the amount of brim and all sorts of species, particularly salmon and little pinky snapper and that. This is how alive the whole Gippy Lakes is. It's a wonderful thing.
It's really good. It's really good. I know that when people, like, it's okay for you to go out and catch 50 fish or whatever. That's amazing. But sometimes for somebody who doesn't catch a fish to go and get 1 or 2 or 5, that's amazing.
And let me add another one. Sam Johnson, he is a fellow I worked with some time back, and he contacted me and said, "Brett, I really haven't fished for a good year and a half. I've only ever really caught 1 fish on a blade. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go?" I said, "Well, this is what I've been doing. You've got the Lake Wellington and Latrobe." He took the boat out. He hadn't had the chance to set the electric up, and he went out probably 3 hours or so. He got 10 fish. He got some beautiful brim, a couple of perch, and he caught a ludric on a blade. A big one. Now, that's hard.
A good one.
It's hard to do. And he got back to me after 2 or 3 hours and said, "I've had the time of my life." He said, I've broken all my records. I've caught fish." And he's caught 10 fish. And
wow.
And that's, it's still a lot. And like years gone by, for me to catch 10 fish would be great. But I want to put this in perspective. Like, I'm putting in 7-8 hours plus a day.
Yes.
These are big. It's quite onerous. This isn't just I'm going to pop. This is all organised. I'm in the shed preparing lures and rigs and that for 2-3 hours. So there's the hours that I put in and all the years of homework so there's a backstory. The reason we get these numbers is we fish so hard and so often. I've fished so far this year, I think 83 days.
Wow.
There's something wrong with me.
That's it, mate. It's crazy. I think you touch on a good point, though. It's like we I know from my own, and I've spoken about this before, but it's still important. When I go and fish a competition, I tie all my new leaders. I make sure I've got leader stock next to me. I've got hooks. If I've got hooks that are dodgy, even slightly dodgy, I replace them.
Yeah.
So when I go out, everything is pretty much as perfect on a comp day as I can make it.
Do you pre-glue your plastics with super glue?
Sometimes.
I reckon that's simple.
I do glue them on
to get longevity.
I had some experience of setting a whole heap up, and then they end up twisted in the box.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like doing that anymore. So yes and no, but a lot of really competent or maybe exceptional anglers do that. But what the preparation is a big part of it, and this is why there's lots of times I catch more fish in a comp than I would on the day after, because the day after I just throw the kayak in. But for comp day, it's rigged up. The hooks are sharp. Everything's ready. So
and there's also the other attention to detail, like, is your kayak, is the rudder working? Is the drive, have you lubed it? Have you checked all there's so much to go through. There's a lot involved, and there's it all comes together. And I've learnt through failure more than anything is that you can never pay too much attention to the small things. Sometimes they are the big problems.
Mm.
Like hook points. Like my buddy Rick was with me. He lost 6 fish at the cut down there in the Mitchell. And he suddenly thought, what's going on? And I've seen him, he gets real cranky. And then he pulled the soft plastic in. The barb's totally folded over. The hook is folded over. So that, yeah, and that was, that's just one example. So, I know I talk a lot about days I've fished and numbers of fish I've got and all that, but it's, this is one fanatical, twisted, feral angler. It's what I do. It's my job.
Yep.
It's my livelihood. It's how I do things. It's fanatical, but I still don't lose that aspect of rejoicing in the fish. Like the first perch I caught today, it's like the first one I've caught in 2 years.
Yeah,
I
right.
just love them. And the same with the 44 brim today. I've pulled it up and I just said, I'm going to take a video for Naughty here. He's going to love this. There's a Hurricane Spread 85 tomahawk hanging out of this thing's head, and I get so much delight out of it. So probably easily pleased. I don't know. I'm a simple fella, I think, Deethy. I don't need for much.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. And with your with these big sessions that have been happening, is there any pattern in lures?
Well, that's a great question because there's so many fish, and I'm talking about a group of say 5 or 6 fellas here. We're getting them on our go-tos and all that, but I've been cycling through my box and just going through things like a Strike Pro Hummer, throw that on, got fish. I put the old Rapala Rattler on, got perch.
No rattling spots?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Blue and silver one with the black dot on it, like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, baby vibe. I could nearly throw to you on the baby vibe. I think you've got news on baby vibe. We'll get to there just shortly. Let me wrap this all up.
Yeah.
Because I've already said too much. So I've expanded. I'm trying to get my repertoire to expand out a little. I do tend to come back to. I've been throwing the hard bodies. I've got the. What's the deep diving 47 that Naughty's got? What's the? Yes. Anyway, I've been throwing those hard bodies that get down deep, and so they've been a go-to as well. But also, as I've pointed out recently, we were using things like chase bait prawns and the clone prawns been coming out. Mates that have been throwing the creeper in the Daiwa colour. So lots of lures being thrown around.
Yeah, the Hurricane Slam.
Sorry, I had a mental blank.
Slam 47, yeah.
Because I haven't used it for so long, and I pulled it out and said, this will be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Deep diving, big bib, get you over some snags. How good's that?
And we've been catching perch out in the middle of the river, and they've been in, say, 10, 12 foot of water, and they've been 4 to 8 foot down. So they're not hugging the bottom, they're not hugging the top, but you throw that Slam 47 in, and it's the middle of the river. Now, for those perch anglers out there, they know that they love hugging structure and edge bites and all that. That's what perch is all about. Oh, no. It's all out, not all. Some of it, most of it now is out in the middle, and that's where the tech come in handy with the sounder. So, there's been a lot going on. So, hopefully that's given everyone a bit of an idea of why I'm so addicted presently and how I haven't gone to BEM. I haven't gone to Malakuta. Deethy, I haven't even got to Lake Tyres because I want to catch the flathead. I haven't even caught a squid.
You haven't caught a squid? I thought you were going to do that.
No, I keep talking about it. And every time I wake up and go, I'm going back to Lake Wellington. I'm going to do the Hollands. I'm going to go to Latrobe again. So, talk about a creature of habit. But I keep saying this. Tamboon and Malakuta are now on my doorstep. Everything east has come right back. The Gippy Lakes is everything I need.
How good is
Lucky
that?
me.
Very good. All right. What else is on your mind?
Oh yeah, the collective. Oh, gee, well, let me go. Just recent, talking about the free rig. This is the new thing on the collective, and we're doing the drop shot. These are really unique rigs, aren't they? You know,
They, yes, they are new. It's not new to me in terms of knowing about them, but it'd be fair to say I put little to no time into them in previous decade and a half or whatever. So
yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad you put it in as the challenge. So I did my first try today, and it was a complete failure.
okay, and how was it?
Well, I decided to do the free rig. That was my thing. And my mate Rick, he said, "No, Brett, I'll do the drop shot." Not that Rick's in the collective, but he was part of this thing, and he said, "I'm going to do it." I have to say, Deethy, it was an absolute failure. I, I did the free rig with one of the chin weights from Joey.
Yep.
Now, I found that because it curls onto your lure or whatever, when I put it on the line, it would fall off. So I closed up that gap. I put the free rig on, but then I thought, nah, I'll put it on a split ring so that it slides up. And then I made it that Joey's chin weight couldn't come free. So I did that.
Yeah.
So, and for those who don't know what a free rig is essentially putting on a soft plastic with no, like there's no traditional rig that you normally tie them up on. And what you do is you just put it on a bare plain hook rather than a jig head. And then you've got a sliding weight that runs up and down. Like you can put a stopper. So there's your soft plastic at the end, and there you tie your soft plastic on, and then you've got a line comes off. The free rig is a sliding weight, whether it's a teardrop or whether it's a sink. It's sliding so that it can move up. So what happens when you cast it out? The sliding part to it, your soft plastic hits the water, and the sliding part, it hits the water because you cast it with slack line. And you open your bail arm up. That actual weight falls backwards away from your soft plastic and starts falling really quickly. These are tungsten weights too that Joey's got. So it hits the bottom. So it comes down, hits the bottom, and your soft plastic's still coming down because it's not a jig head anymore. And some of those plastics float, like the Hurricanes and like the Z-Mans, they float. So they are not wanting to go down, but the free rig separates from once you've cast, and so it hits the bottom, and then your soft plastic comes wandering down and joins it on the bottom. Yeah. If it's not so buoyant that it'll hang up. But
that's right.
So my soft plastics are very, very slow sink. Anyway, so I've done all that, and so you can hop it up so that the weight comes free again, and the process repeats. So it was all new to me today, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to get this sorted. So my second cast only ever using the free rig, bang, I'm on.
Right.
And I'm saying, Rick, I'm going to take a video for Deethy. This is unbelievable. Second cast. And it's a perch, I can tell. He got off. I said, who cares? This is a new eighth wonder of the world. What a ripper, free rig. Let's go. 25 minutes later, I couldn't wait to get it off. It wasn't working. I don't know, Deethy, I don't know. And Rick's quite versed in all this stuff because he's done all this, and he was coaching me and said, "Oh, what have you got? Is it running up and down the line?" It just didn't work. And then Rick took over. He said, "Oh, I'm going to try the drop shot," and he tried his bits. We couldn't get him to eat and bite, and then we'd go back to our normal jig heads and smash them.
Right,
couldn't work it out. So the anomaly is it wasn't a fast flowing water scenario. Like Leon pointed out, he was in the Straits, fast-flowing snags, and so it was nearly dead calm water. The Latrobe's not flowing fast, and we're fishing a little bit of lake water too. So we're dropping them down, and there's no flow. So I don't know whether the fish were tuned into it, or I just thought that it's the same soft plastic I've got on my jig head, but it's just a bit different. And I'll just catch up with the free-flowing weight and just fish it like a normal jig head. It'll sort of do that, surely.
Yeah.
It didn't work. And I tried and tried. I went back to it. So
yeah, well, it's going to be interesting.
I've got homework.
Interesting.
Got homework.
Exactly. Over the next month, because in the meeting we had, we've got guys that are catching fish on this. One guy, Ben Monforti, he that's pretty much all he does.
That's very true. And look at the success he has.
That's right. That's right. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be so good over the next month, 6 weeks or so, to see how yourself goes and not just you, but everyone in the collective, to see what sort of results we can get and work out, just dial this technique in. I think it's definitely, it originated in Japan.
Yes.
The Americans took it on.
Yeah.
It's about time we learn how to do it in Australia really well.
Oh, hey, Deethy, I see the application. I see the merit. I understand logically it has to work and it will work. I've just got to make it work. And it could be circumstantial in what I was doing today. It just didn't compute. Fish aren't programmable. It's not. It just so turned out, like even Rick with his drop shot jobby, and he ended up using a jig head for this bottom lure, and on his drop shot he had another rig polymer knot up further.
Yeah,
and he was getting a lot of fish on that,
right.
Particularly the bottom. So it's a double rig, soft plastic, tied vertically like it's 90 degrees off the line. His second soft plastic, he's had the one on the bottom, traditional, and the other one's tied tight to the line. So, yeah, he was getting quite a few and said, okay, Brett, well, that's working. Let's go and try this and that. So, I put a fair bit of effort in. I would have put about 90 minutes into it all up and got quite frustrated. But, hey, that's fishing. I'm not going to knock I'm not going to stop. I won't let this beat me because Leon won't let it happen. He's going to be on my case now.
That's exactly right.
So,
one of the interesting applications they have for the free rig is, like I said, the Americans fish it a bit. They fish it in the grass. So, where there's grass cover. Yeah. So they basically have their drop shot weight, teardrop, whatever it is, their lure pinned off the back of it, and they'll do what they call pegging it. So they'll put a stopper up here. So there's only so far that lead can travel away, or the tungsten can travel away from the plastic. Yes. And then they throw that into the grass. So this drops on an open bail arm, drops like a stone. And if that's pegged, it's going to pull that plastic down through the cover. So I noticed on the Georges River up here, we've had floods in the last, probably a month ago. But there's still scum on the top, like big areas of grass and tennis balls and all sorts of stuff. And I thought with this rig, we'll be able to throw into middle of that and potentially pull, what doesn't matter what it is, but a prawn or a soft plastic down through that. There has to be fish under that.
Yeah. And it gets free time exposed to open water and not snagged with a jig head straight on the bottom, bang, it's all over.
That's right. It'll just waft down. So you've got all this scum on the top, and then all of a sudden a prawn or a bait fish or something just starts coming down. I reckon if there's fish under that, they're going to have a crack at it.
Oh, 100%. And we know it works. I'm going to make it work. There's no doubt. Today's failure only makes things. I'm driving even harder from here on in. I thought it'd be a shoe-in, to be honest. So I was quite shocked with the dismal failure today. I was really shocked. But I'm telling you how it is. It was just
This is good. Well,
it's the learning curve.
I've got a challenge for you,
Yeah.
Brett. So after listening to Leon speak the other night,
Mhm.
he was talking about hopping this through snags.
Yeah.
I need you to go and throw this into a snag. Nasty,
Jeez.
nasty snag.
Oh, okay.
I know it's going to make you sad.
No, nothing makes me
But with
sad.
your,
Oh, it's all learning.
with your 17-pound, it's hard to break it off.
That's a problem. But I'll get there.
So,
I'll beat it.
look, it was a really interesting conversation with how he was able
Oh,
to manipulate that over the timber and feel it, obviously with a lot of use. Like it'd take a while to learn how to do that, and hop it up over the structure and feel what it is. And he talked about you kind of hop it up, and then when you get to the top, just pop it over the top.
yeah.
And that would often induce a strike. And I think
Oh,
particularly in those waters down there, the Tambo and all the structure and stuff you've got,
yeah.
sounds pretty good to me.
And he could discern whether he was pulling that tungsten weight over rock or timber. His
Yep.
communication to that hooker. See, this is next level. This is soft plastic fishing. Like this is, it's not 101. This is like
No.
601. It's, I've got some homework. Is where I'm going, Deethy. And so
Yeah.
I'll get there. It's a bit like when blades first arrived 15, 18 years ago, whenever it is now. I declared I can't use these things. They're crap. This is, I declared this is fair dinkum. How could brim eat metal? And I had to throw that whole idea out. And then all of a sudden I went, aha, I get it. And then bang, look what's happened. Well,
That's it.
so that'll happen,
And-
but it's going to take time. I can't always talk about joy. I have to talk about it. Today was septic on that new setup. Oh yeah, I caught a heap of fish today eventually, but I had to abandon the new challenge. Anyway, watch this space.
I was going to say there'll be a reason.
We couldn't work it out today. Even Rick was flummoxed. He just said, "Brett, this is bizarre," and he's got history with all this stuff. He's done all the YouTubing and tied up all the rigs months and years now. Anyway, it was good to have his input. Is all I can say. If I was by myself, I would have said, "Oh, I don't know what's happened here," but he backed it up. So, yeah, that's my spin on that first little try.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, like I said, look forward to seeing what happens in a month's time, or when we next speak.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, mate?
Now-
Let's get back to you a little bit. Have you got a few trips lined up coming up, or have you got something to share?
Yeah. Look, I think there's a couple of things to go through, but I had a little mishap, something that hasn't happened to me before.
You haven't told me about this.
No, I was fishing. I can't remember what I was fishing actually. I was fishing away, and there was a bit of rain, so I had my umbrella up,
As you do.
and I was adjusting the umbrella, and I was talking to a mate on the phone, and I turned around and I adjusted the brolly because I was getting wet. It wasn't nice, and I brushed my ear, and I dropped my earbud over, and I had to watch it float away.
Oh,
And I haven't done that before. I thought I'd tell you about it.
oh, that's ugly. So, what's that earbud worth to replace?
$100.
That's worse than 5 good lures. Oh, okay.
5 good lures, and I watched it float away, and I've got a net. I could have reached it with a net, but it was too small.
Awkward when
Like it would go through the net. So there you go.
Gone.
Yep, that's it. I was going to say, if Morgo's listening, he'd probably tell me I need to get one of the Enviro nets, and then I wouldn't have been able to push it through the water. But anyway,
that's true. With the flow.
so there you go. But all right, let's double back to the Hobie round. So we had a comp on our local here a couple of weeks back. It's one of those things. Like I pre-fished a lot before going up to Swains, and I was catching good fish on mussels and crabs and baby vibes, and mate, it was really good.
Right.
It was really good. And then went away to Swains. I had the Lake Mac round again, so I was up and away for another weekend, and then I had one pre-fish. I think just the Friday pre-fish. I got a bit of a notification there's some fish upriver. So instead of fishing the bridges where I had been fishing, I went, all right, we'll go upriver.
Yeah.
And went upriver and just brained them. Just
Wow.
fish. I went, oh, it's hard to ignore that.
Mm.
It's an hour's paddle. So fair paddle.
That's a bit of against current, or is it like
with the current.
Okay.
So yeah, but I mean, probably the footnote on that is in the pre-fish on the Friday, I got a kilo fish.
Mm.
In comp day, I didn't get a kilo fish.
That
Second
hurts.
comp day, I didn't get a kilo fish. On the Wednesday afterwards, I went back up there with some crabs because there were some guys fishing up there that did well on crabs, and I got a 38 forker, so like a 42 or a 42 and a half.
Oof.
And it was a big one. It was a good fish.
That's trucky.
So yeah, it was. Some fish are bigger than others. It was just a big one. As well as jewfish, mate. We get a lot of jewfish up here.
Ooh, what sizes?
I haven't got a big one. In comp day, I basically pulled up on a point as everyone was leaving. I went, I'm just going to stop here for 5 minutes. I might get a fish, but I wanted to let the pack move on.
Yep.
So I stopped, and I think second cast, I came up tight on the bottom, but then the bottom took off, and it was about a 75 centimeter dewy. I didn't measure it.
But you comp boys are pussyfooting around with the 4 and 6 pound. I don't know how you really.
It was on 4 pound.
Wow.
Yeah, it was on 4 pound with a bivvy in the outside of the face, and it pinned him just in the little line above the top of his lip.
Yeah.
So I mean, cool capture.
Yeah.
No one was there to see it, so that was disappointing.
Bit of time involved there. 10 minutes. Hooking, netting.
Probably 10 minutes to deal with that. So yeah, and then I worked all my big fish areas that I thought I'd get fish all the way up river for like it. I think about 7 k's up river. So a long way.
Yeah.
No fish. Didn't get a fish. Went up to where we were fishing, and within 20 minutes I was upgrading.
Wow, right.
So it was just fish first cast, third cast. Yeah, it was just easy. And
same lure?
Well, I was mixing it up. I was mixing it up between a black bivvy and the baby vibe in cockle.
Oh, baby vibe. Yeah.
The baby vibe. What I've noticed, and I've been doing this for a long time, been talking about it for a long time, but the chin weight is so important on that to me. Like, particularly if there's any flow. Like, you get the lure down faster, you just get more fish.
Okay. Where do you hook it up? How?
So basically, I haven't got one here, but it's an atomic sticky weights. So it's a little football-shaped piece of lead. You mount it on the front, in front of the front hook point. Yep. Mold it around, bend it, and then I pull it off, and then put super glue gel on it, and then stick it back on. If you just use the sticky, it's just falling off. But it really makes a big difference on catching them. And I've caught jewfish, flathead, trevally, whiting. Caught a blackfish. My second fish in the comp was a blackfish.
Grouse. That's cool.
So
yeah.
No, it's terrible.
Oh, because it's eating up time.
Because I went, I've got one. I've got one. And then I didn't have one.
So it was like 35, 36?
Yeah, it was a reasonable fish, and it went hard enough to be, if it was a brim, it would have been good. But yeah, that was a good comp. But there was a special thing that we did there. So as part of the collective, I put some money that I've taken from the collective, and we put on the barbecue for the competition.
Oh, I saw this on Sookbook. Loved it.
How good was that? And I had Jamie and Andy. So my daughter Jamie and her husband Andy.
Yeah.
They took care of nearly everything. Came down. cooked the barbecue, cooked up 100+ sausages, and got the bread. And I cut the onions on the Friday night, and they did it on the Saturday night. So I got to get some points there. A big bowl of onion, fresh onions, no frozen onions.
Yeah, bugger that.
But we made enhanced sausage sandwiches.
This is grouse. Go slow.
All right. So you can find this on Facebook, but it's important.
White bread.
So you get bread. A roll is better.
We
didn't have roll.
Okay.
Roll is better because it's just bit more room.
Yeah.
But bread, put your butter on it because I'm 54. We have butter.
Butter's good, man.
Yeah, that's it. Butter. Put your sausage in the middle of it with your butter. You put some onion and some cheese, some grated cheese.
Yeah.
And then 2 things to finish it off. You get the Nacho Supreme or Supreme Cheese CCs.
Gold.
You put them on it. And then whatever sauce you like. Now, I like sweet and sour. I like sweet chili.
Chili, yeah.
So sweet chili sauce on that. Mate, and there you go, mate. Golden. Enhanced sausage sandwiches.
Oh,
how good's that?
It's too good. The crunch factor and the cheese.
Oh, and the flavour from the CCs.
Oh, I love, and the butter. Man, butter's good for you.
That's right.
Be stuffed.
You got to have butter.
Be stuffed. Mate, if it's not running,
that's it. If it's not running down your hands, you didn't put enough on.
I watched that, mate. You got cheese falling out the sides. You got chips falling down on the ground. And when you crunched into that, I just went, flip my flaming jip. That's got to be the next thing. Oh, my mouth was watering. Cripes. You have like 2 beers, you have one of them. I mean, life's good. Cripes.
Oh, mate. I must admit, we had the video. And I saw the cheese and I saw all the food falling off it, and I thought, do I put it up?
Oh.
Like, yes.
I love it. So that's going to be a hit. It's a thing. Enhanced snag and bread and what do you call it? The enhanced sausage.
Enhanced sausage sandwiches.
Sandwiches, right?
Like,
got it. Okay.
And to put it into perspective, I've been doing this for a long time.
Right.
So when I was a TAFE teacher, I used to put on barbecues every now and then for the students. Same deal.
Yeah.
You go and spend whatever it is, maybe $50, and put on sausage sandwiches for 20 people, and it makes everyone happy.
Oh, come on!
But I had the school kids there, and I'm like, "You got to try this," and they're like, "No, try it." Anyway, most, not all, but most are converted.
Oh, it brings me back to an era gone way back when we used to have like twisty sandwich at school, or chicken chip sandwich and stuff. Yeah. We used to do that with butter and bread. Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
This is next level. Okay.
A Smith's chip sandwich, mate. That's very special.
Oh, you get and salt, man. Come on, bring it.
Exactly. But like I said, special shout out to Jamie and Andy for doing that. It meant that the 70 or so anglers came back to something to eat. Plus, there was enough there that the people around there, if they were hungry, there was food there. So.
And was there any feedback on the enhancement, mate? Did you get like?
Oh, mate, it was a hit.
Yeah,
it was a hit.
It's big. Yeah.
And it's good. There's audience participation here. It doesn't matter where you are in the country. Tomorrow night, tonight, you can have enhanced sausage sandwiches. You can do it.
It's beautiful. Oh, what a thing. Okay. Yeah.
So there you go, mate.
Good one.
There you go.
Love it heaps.
Yeah, it was very, very good. But yeah, look, good round. It was good to see Mitch Taylor come up trumps. Yeah. Now
Simon Morley, Hurricane Man.
Yeah, Morley did quite well.
Yeah, Jamie Cole. I talk a little bit to Jamie on the wires. Oh, I'm glad he did pretty good. And Mick Eddingham, like ME.
Yeah, ME. Yeah, coming in 10th place. How good is that? He's only been hardcore brim fishing for just a little while, so I think that was a great competition.
Yeah.
A couple of other mentions, mate. Jason Marshall.
Yeah.
So I don't think you would know this, but Jason paddled all the way to the Cooks.
Uh-huh.
It's a 2-hour plus paddle.
Right. That's onerous.
in a comp.
Oof. Dedication.
And he's not the first time he's done this.
That's 4 hours
He
gone
must
in your
have
day.
plus, I reckon 4.5. And he ended up in second place, mate. Missed out by like 160 grams.
Right. So the homework was done on pre-fish for him?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. I think so. But mate, what a slog!
That's
What a slog!
a special mention there. And you got into 25th, I think you end up.
Yeah, I ended up in 25th, which I mean, honestly, was a bit. I mean, it's probably one of my better results this year, 26. But yeah, I was disappointed to not get a kicker, given on all sides of the competition before and after. I'd got kickers every day.
Okay.
Just is what it is.
Did you catch a lot of fish? Did everyone get like mountains of fish and have to wade through the sizes, numbers, or how did that?
Oh, not everyone did, but I would have got probably 12 to 15 legals on the Saturday.
Okay.
And that was after not getting one till about 10:15. So no legals till 10:15. I had to be back a little bit early for the sausage sandwiches, to get them made up, which didn't turn out to be a problem anyway. And then on the Sunday, I didn't do my milk run. I went straight up there.
Ah, right.
I did a little bit of the milk run at the end, but went up there, but it was a little bit slower on the Sunday.
Okay.
So I did see Josh Carpenter up there. He was out on the water chasing dewies near where we were, and they got, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 soapies, which was pretty good going.
Okay. Soapies are under 50?
Yeah, or under 70, I'd say.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah, just little fellas.
Okay.
But mate, there's a few standouts in this event. One that I want to bring your attention to is my good mate Raymond Cooper.
Oh, right. I love Raymond. He's me Gippy buddy.
He's a champion.
He's a ripper.
Mate. Yeah. And mate, he came first in the Masters, ended up 14th, which is a great result in any comp these days.
For sure.
So good. And look, you and he share a similar thing. Mate, you've both caught a golden perch.
Oh, he's caught it. Where did he get his?
He got his at Bem River in a Hobie comp.
What? Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yep. Got $2,000 for his efforts.
Oh, that's Oh, he did too. That's right. He
couple
got
of
one of the
years
first ones. I think it was a big one too. Like it might have been
I think so.
Was it a 50 or something? It was a big one.
Might have been a 50. Yeah, I can't remember, but I know.
Yeah.
Mate, such a good story.
Golden tag estuary perch.
That's right.
What a cracker.
And you've done 2 of them, I think.
I've done 2 of them. I don't know if people are all up with this, but I caught an estuary perch that was only 38 centimetres, but it was the one that was tagged by the minister back then, Jarla Pulford, and she did a TV little stint where they promoted it, and so they filmed all this, and she held up a perch, and it's been tagged, and they released it in golden tag and all the rest. That's the one I caught, right? And so that was how good was that? And then the second one, golden tag, was a dusky flathead at Lake Tyers.
Right.
Yeah. However, the program had finished up about, I reckon it was 2 months prior. They shut the program down because it had run its course. It was just after COVID, and I think it was 2021 or 2, might be 22, I think it was. So I caught this tagged flathead, and I thought, I'm a winner. I'm the only winner that's a loser. The program's been shut down. Oh, well, I'll take a photo and I'll do this. And I got the flathead and I put it back in the water, and I'm trying to swim it. And I probably took too many photos. And he was deep hooked actually too. And I thought, he'll make it. Flatties are tough. He was 54 he was. And so I put it back in the water at Lake Tyers, and he doesn't look too healthy. Oh, don't look. He'll make it. So 20 minutes later, I've travelled up the lake a little, come back, and there's this flathead sideways almost in the breeze on the edge. I'm thinking, oh, he's carked it. That's my fish for sure.
He's toast.
So I picked him up and I thought, I'll take him home. I'll dine on him. You can't have a win all the time. So on the way home, I've rang my better half, Leanne. I said, oh, well, sweetie, you won't believe it. I've caught a golden tagged. It's got winner written all over this tag, but hey, I'm a loser. It's finished. And she's on the phone and she's punched it up and she said, you won't believe this. The program has just been reinstated 2 days ago.
Oh,
And I've gone, winner, and chicken dinner. I'm going to eat it.
nah.
I've got the tag. So I've got hold of Travis Dowling, the CEO. I've sent this news all around. Oh, it's a crack up. So how's that? I'm trying to throw $2,000 back in the water this whole time. What a dickhead. I'm going, oh, the program's finished. I'll do the right thing, Brett. Get that fish and don't pull the tag out because, you want to get the feedback. It could be caught in 3 years' time. Swim, do the right thing, How lucky for me that it carked it. So $4,000. Thanks, Vic Fisheries. I love you. It's all good.
$4,000.
Two golden tags.
And I'm sure your wife enjoyed that.
Well, she said, you owe me, so I think that cost me a night out for tea. That's fine. All good.
That's fine.
Yeah, so
fair enough.
That was great.
Fair enough. All right, mate. There's one thing a sad story that I wanted to just bring up that will be close to the hearts of lots of, particularly the Victorian guys. We lost one of our good fishing buddies in Dougie Fair. Now, he was a fishing personality. He's the dad of one of my mates, and just another sad moment in time. So I wanted to take a moment just to bring that up and say, condolences to the family. He'll be missed by not just the family, but a lot of people in the wider fishing community. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Hey, Deethy's such an all-round nice guy. Never, ever a ill word spoken about that man. And he put so much back into fishing. He got involved so much with the perch search. He helped out a lot of people in angling, generally speaking. And that's not fair. It's maybe Dougie Fair, but it's not. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
well
rough run at the end. I haven't got a photo here to put up with you, but for the YouTube guys, I'll put a photo up over the top. And condolences to the guys, and hope you guys are okay.
Yeah.
All right, mate. I'm nearly to the end of things here, mate. What else? You got anything else for us? We've still got the force lures draw to give to run through.
Yeah, we got to do that. Let's get that rolling. What do you reckon? I'm excited about this because we did one for the collective, and it was a big pack.
We did.
Mr. Tran, what's his first name?
James
Tran. Sorry. Yeah.
James Tran.
Go, James.
And you know what was funny about that? We love James.
Yeah.
James did a comp last year, and he'll hate me telling this.
This is a good story.
But he did a comp last year where he grand final. He's out on the water. He's doing his thing. He's caught good fish. Anyway, he was running off his sounder time, which was an hour out. So he came back an hour late.
How many points do you lose for that?
You lose all of them.
You're gone.
He was too late.
Yeah.
He was too late. Anyway, last night or the night before last, it was a little bit like sounder time because he wasn't there, but he still gets the prize.
He was late coming to the meeting.
He was. Yeah, so look, a great pack for force lures. I'll just grab a couple of those lures.
Oh, I loved it. It was so funny. Well, I tell you, but how good for force lures to come up with this package. This is a major, big. I looked at it and I was drooling. I'm thinking, I hope I win the package, and I missed out. But anyway.
Well, and for the listeners who are not involved in this, we just did a promotion for the collective to give this pack away, this half of the pack away, because I split it in half. And so anyone that signed up after the May monthly report through to now is in this drawer. So that's how that's come about. And I'll just show you just a few. I'm not going to show you everything because there's too much. Just a few things. Some simple grubs, a couple of different colours. Some very cool paddle tails.
Yeah.
And what I like about these, they're segmented. So you can shorten them up really easily. Like you could go, okay, I'm cutting two of the ribs off or what have you. So very, very cool. Now, one of our challenges in the collective, we did bent minnows and what have you, and Force Lures sponsored it. And these little ziggies, these were a standout.
How long are those, DT? Well, that's the length.
These ones are 55. Oh, they're 60, sorry.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
60.
Yeah.
Very good. And they've got a unique gill section in them where the water can travel through the gills.
Oh, bubble trail.
So very, very, very cool. A few different types of jig heads, worm hooks, weighted worm hooks, and what have you. A whole bunch of other stuff. Their little version of the baby vibe.
Oh,
mate, pretty
gross.
cool.
Yeah.
There's equally a jacket here, but it's going to depend on what size the winner is.
Okay.
Because if it doesn't fit them, it's going to be my jacket.
Oh, why can't I get the jacket?
Well, yeah, I could send it to you. You can have a Force Lures jacket if that's what you're.
I hope it fits my chubby belly.
Mate, it'll be just fine, mate. It went round me, so it's all good.
Okay. Yeah. I think you deserve that. All right. You deserve.
Let's bring up the random name picker. I've got all the names loaded in, and we'll do the draw.
How many have we got that were new?
I think it was 25.
Okay.
No, maybe 21, sorry.
And we've got
it was 25 in last night's draw.
And
so good numbers.
We've got 103 all up on the collective. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. As of now. And when we hit 110, we're going to look after that person as well.
Oh, grouse.
All right, let's do it. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Oh, Mark Knight.
Yeah, Mark Knight. Well, there you
go.
Yeah.
There you go, Mark.
All right, Mark, you are a winner. This is not getting announced until it's released.
Yeah.
So there you go, Mark. I'll get in contact with you, and he's local to me, so that'll make things nice and easy. How about that?
Grouse, go Nighty. He's already my mate. Go Nighty.
Go Nighty. And you know what? And like all these people that are in that draw, just join the collective. So how good's that?
Love the collective. Never thought I'd be in a fishing club, but I'm really enjoying this. You got to get involved, people. It really is. It's a great thing. I get so many messages now, Deethia, just out of the blue. People have contacted me. Brett, I've got this idea, and we're throwing things around. Gee, I'm learning a lot. Like Carl Dubois is sending me stuff, and pictures of homemade lures and a lot of stuff we talk about. And the new, like we got the free rig and the drop shot. I wouldn't know about this if I was just doing my own thing. Ignorant Geddes don't fish with anyone. I'm loving this club.
Yeah, it's cool, hey. It's cool, and it's evolved a little bit from what I thought it was going to be, and it may evolve again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Mate, I think that brings us to the close of proceedings. Mate, the only thing I want to know about Rust Never Sleeping.
Okay, so this is Neil Young. Every month I have a feature album. So Neil Young has, I think he's just released a new album. That's number 57. And I call him Old Neil Young because he is 79, I think, as of last birthday. And I've been lucky to grow up with Neil. I just love him. He is the godfather of grunge. And back here, he's got a few albums, Live Rust and Rust Never Sleeps. And it was just so heavy, but it was melodic. He's a great songwriter. So there's a couple of songs on here, Thrasher. One in particular, love Thrasher. But I've either got Bob Dylan or Neil Young in the background there. So yeah, that's my nominated album for this monthly report, mate.
Fantastic. All right, mate. If you're done, I reckon we'll leave it there, and we'll have another chat next month?
I've locked in lake tyres tomorrow, so next month I should have that report from somewhere different.
Very good. Are we going to see a squid?
Let's hope.
So that's a maybe.
That is a big maybe.
All right, mate. Thank you so much
All
for
right,
joining
cheers,
me.
mate. Loved it.
And like I said, I will talk to you next week
All right, cheers.
or next month on the Bream Fishing Project.
Thanks for listening. Hopefully you were informed, inspired and entertained. If you were able to learn something or just enjoyed listening, please consider subscribing and rate us on your favourite podcasting platform.